Today we're going to explore a scenario as possible as what would happen if World War III began. Today we'll discover which countries would be devastated in the first few minutes, how long humanity would endure, and if there's still any place to hide. Get ready for a journey through the darkest side of human nature and the hope we can still save. Chapter 1. Would you survive the first day? It all starts with a single button. In the world's capitals, the day looks like office workers, students, mothers with their children. But at 10:43 a.m., a radar detects a launch. In a matter of seconds, the armies of the great powers activate their nuclear arsenal. The first bombs hit in less than 15 minutes. New York, Moscow, Beijing, London. The cities turn into columns of fire and dust. Sirens blare, but few have time to react. In the first 48 hours, experts estimate over 90 million dead from the initial attacks alone. The numbers are unimaginable. More than the entire population of Germany, more than an entire continent. Hospitals collapse, telecommunications fail, the streets fill with smoke and despair. Those who survive the bombs face a silent threat. The invisible, relentless radiation spreading through the contaminated rain, entering bodies. And to that threat, another is added, even more so: hunger. Chapter 2. Which countries would be destroyed first? Modern wars are not fought like before. There are no defined fronts or trenches. Weapons target nerve centers, governments, military bases, ports, power grids. The first targets are the US, Russia, and China for being the three main nuclear powers. But also key cities in London, Berlin, Paris, Brussels. In Asia, Tokyo, Seoul, Taipei. NATO members would be wiped out one by one as alliances activate in a chain reaction. The major cities become uninhabited within minutes. The lights go out, bridges fall, airports burn, industrial areas turn into steel graveyards. But the rest of the world is not a spectator. Latin America, Africa, and Oceania would also suffer the consequences. Refugees, shortages, looting. The conflict would leave deep scars even in places that were never attacked. Chapter 3. How long would you survive? If you manage to escape the explosions, how long can you hold out? Scientists warn that the real threat isn't just the bombs. It's nuclear winter. Particles lifted by thousands of detonations would block the sky for months. Global temperatures would drop by up to 10 degrees. Growing seasons would shorten or disappear. Crops would fail by up to 90%. In less than a year, starvation would kill billions. Ecosystems would collapse. Contaminated rivers, acidic seas, unbreathable air. Cities would empty as survivors search for food, water, and shelter. In the streets, law would vanish, weapons would replace justice. Human life would lose its value. Is that surviving? Chapter 4. Could humanity become extinct? Nuclear weapons can end our civilization, but could they end the human species? Simulations say that although millions would die and governments would collapse, humanity would survive. Fragmented, impoverished, almost unrecognizable. Small isolated communities in remote places. Tribal societies living off hunting and gathering. The most resilient animals, like rats or insects, would thrive while humans become a shadow of what we once were. Civilization as we know it would disappear, but human genes would survive in some form. The question is not whether we can survive, but what we are willing to sacrifice to avoid disappearing. Chapter 5. Where to hide if war breaks out. Is there a safe place? Experts point out some possible shelters. The South Pacific Islands, far from military routes. New Zealand with low population density and a temperate climate. The southern part of Latin America, where geography offers natural isolation and basic resources. But even there, nuclear winter would arrive. Crops would be difficult, supply chains would be cut, and radiation would reach air and sea currents. Those places wouldn't be paradise, just a truce in the middle of hell. Perhaps we can't hide from ourselves. Today we have in our hands the ability to decide what future we want. The weapons are already built. The treaties exist. Negotiations have never been more urgent. War is not inevitable. But peace is not automatic either. It requires decisions, agreements, empathy, and commitment. Because in a nuclear war, there are no winners, only survivors. If this video made you think, subscribe to the channel and share this message with those you know. Your curiosity can be the beginning of change, and your voice can prevent the worst from becoming reality.